Alright, so I just want to start off by saying I've played the demo 4 times, and each time I found something new or interesting that I did not find prior. I wanted to go over what I liked and disliked while playing, and trust me, there are plenty of both. Let's talk about this demo. Okay, so we're gonna start off with what I liked. And let's start off with how good the voice acting is. At the very beginning, when we first see 16-year-old Cloud, his lines and delivery are perfect.
Because if it's another one of those Turks gigs, you can let me off right here.
Really?
The voice acting in this game is on point and seems to have even improved from Remake. So right from the very beginning, we already know that the work and details that went into making each scene feel as real as possible. I think we can all agree that the voice acting is pretty phenomenal, and we won't have to worry about any clunky dialogue. Next is when you first gain control of Cloud in Nibelheim, you can just run around and explore. This has always been a dream for us diehard FF7 fans. To be able to run around this town is something surreal that I cannot really comprehend. Actually seeing the stores, going to Cloud's old house, climbing the water tower, and going into Tifa's old house, unannounced? They stayed so true to the original flashback sequence that it's almost eerie. I loved all the details they've included. I mean, the part where you climb the water tower and Cloud just reflects. Is great. The townspeople all welcoming Shinra and wanting to get a glimpse of the war hero Sephiroth. All the shops talking about Shinra visiting and recognizing Cloud after all these years. These are all fantastic little additions that just add to the story. I did visit Cloud's old house, and to see how hard it is for him to talk about his mother, it definitely hits harder than the original, so excellent job there. After that, I visited Tifa's house, of course, and went into her bedroom. And of course we would have taken her orthopedic underwear, if we could.
I know I shouldn't have.
Cloud! You asshole!
Love that reaction from Tifa and Aerith. One thing I did catch on my last playthrough was this little soldier action figure, which I believe was in the original. This might have been my favorite Easter egg. I also noticed Zell on the poster, giving a nod to FF8, and then you can also find the red ruby weapon here on this poster. Now this is something that I absolutely loved and cannot wait to play more of this minigame. The piano was so fun and it took a little getting used to, but I want to play the other pieces of music that we're going to get through the game. We also run into Tifa's martial arts instructor, Zangan. Seems like a pretty cool guy who I think will be much more involved in the story this time around. After running around Nibelheim, Cloud, Sephiroth, Tifa, and a few Shinra soldiers make their way to the Mako reactor. And I can say that the music with the credits shown was a great touch. I'm sure everyone took a second to appreciate what they were seeing here. Again, I think as far as the tone, mood, story, scenery, they did a superb job at making you feel for these characters and this world. Now, the scene where Sephiroth loses his mind finally, I think they absolutely nailed it.
I should go. Mother is waiting.
Holy shit, that was done so well, and it's exactly how I pictured it from the original. The last thing I want to give credit to is Nibelheim burning down. Wow. Just wow. I have a few issues here, but overall watching Cloud feel helpless and everyone just dying around him was done extremely well. So bravo to that. So I give a lot of credit to the developers. This demo was phenomenal. It was great. There's a lot to love about this demo. But I did have a lot of things that bothered me as well. Let's get into those. Now, I won't say that the combat is bad by any means. It feels great. I was hoping for a little bit more change though in part 2 for Rebirth. This almost feels exactly the same and at times even clunkier than Remake was. Now, the controls feel smooth, but the characters' actions at times feel a little bit more jagged than what I remember. Now it could be the camera angle, or maybe I just need to get used to using synergy abilities and spells, but for me, some of the battles I got into felt clunky, felt less weighted than Remake did. So I won't say that the combat is bad, but it is something I'm eager to explore further. I hardly have any concerns with the story, but there have been certain instances that do make me laugh, and I just question why. For instance, when Cloud is crawling on the ground and the Nibelheim citizens are running up to Sephiroth with guns, and they just stand there, and stand there, and stand there. Shoot the dang guy, do something. I noticed we can climb things and interact with the environment more, but with this new feature, running around feels a bit clunky and not as smooth as Remake. I get it, with more freedom to explore, the more likely glitches can occur, but man, I'm a little worried how exploration will feel in the open world areas. I noticed when I would climb something, Tifa would warp transfer and it would just look a little unnatural. I don't recall this happening in Remake. The next thing that sort of bothered me is, why did they have lightning strike the bridge to collapse it? Why didn't they just have the bridge collapse on its own? Did they really need to add in the more unlikely scenario that lightning struck the bridge just as they were crossing it? I just think decisions like this make me question how they could end the game. Now, I'm a huge fan of puzzles, but dang, these FF7 puzzles are not that fun to me. I mean, maybe some of you like vacuuming Mako, but I feel like we could get a little more creative here. For instance, Resident Evil puzzles are some of my favorite, and I don't know if Final Fantasy would ever go to that level, but come on, you can make us think and use our head a little here. Let's talk about the Shinra Mansion, or Shinra Manor. I won't be too negative because we're gonna revisit this mansion later in the game, so we'll see what it looks like then, but no spiral staircase? We are not gonna get that classic shot of us going down the staircase? Instead, we get an elevator. I don't know, I always loved that shot of Cloud descending the staircase. They missed out on that. I mean, the mansion does look good, but I really thought we would get that visual. Now, the last thing I want to touch on are the graphics. I am all for performance, and I will lock in at 60 frames per second, but wow, I can't help but notice some of the visual graphics are bad. The textures are bad. And I'm being nice, this looks like PS3 graphics at certain parts. Luckily, I don't care about graphics too much, and Remake was able to get away with this. But it's 2024, and we do expect the quality to be better than this. Now, we all know they're gonna patch it, and eventually everything will look amazing. But yeah, there's some rough spots, and I couldn't help but notice. But at the end of the day, the game runs very well, and I expect it to be close to the level of polish that Remake was. Alright guys, that is everything that I liked and didn't like from the demo. I don't know if I missed anything else, but wow, it was an incredible demo that I definitely had some problems with. We're a few days away from the second demo, and I cannot wait. I will get my thoughts out on the second demo much sooner, as I just had a baby boy. Yep, my son. So crazy. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.